My toxic college friends broke my late uncle's keychain, called me a walking curse, then subtweeted me as a victim, and I'm done staying quiet. I'm 18 female, currently going to college, and having this so-called friend group for almost a year. Listen, I love them because they have always been there for me since day one. But there are times when they annoy me and being disrespectful to me by their jokes. For example, joking that I'm a bad luck source. If they might just want to play along w/me. It's just I can't handle it because I'm quite sensitive. I've tried to tell them a few times that I don't like it too, but in the end they keep repeating it. I'm typing this with my phone dimmed to like 20% because if I see the screen too, clearly I chicken out and delete everything. Every time I try to talk about it in real life, I freeze, second guess, laugh it off, or I end up apologizing for being dramatic when I'm the one who went home with a headache after smiling through their crap. So I'm going to just spill it the way it sits in my head. Our group formed fast during orientation week when everyone was sweaty and lost and pretending to be chill about it. 10 of us, different majors, but same freshman classes, same cafeteria tables, same late night walks back to the dorms with the raccoons digging in the bins like they were enrolled too. We bonded over that stupid broken vending machine in the library that only accepted coins and ate them like a slot machine with no payout. We made a group chat the second week, pushed each other's selfies into it, started streaks on Snapchat, because why not? Keep the tiny fires burning. I like them. I still do. That's the messy part. The bad luck thing started as a throwaway line. First time, person that looks at the sky when I sit down and goes, "Oh, the storm cloud arrived," because it literally started raining when I got to the bench. Everyone laughed. I laugh too because I do that when I don't know how to handle the focus turning on me. The next day, I dropped my drink in the cafeteria, lid popped, Coke all over the floor, and person C clapped like I did a trick. There she is, walking omen. I cleaned up with a bunch of napkins while they did a drum roll on the table. It wasn't evil or anything, it just stuck. Every time we missed a bus, someone would go, "Where's my name?" "Oh, there she is." Makes sense. If someone failed a quiz, if the Wi-Fi lagged, if the professor was late, if a bird shat near us, if the printer jammed, my fault, obviously. She breathed on it. Don't let her touch it. You're like a cursed charm. Har har. Jokes are only funny when they land on something we all agreed is fair game. I try to set the boundary, but I didn't do it like a TED Talk. I did it like a nervous 18-year-old who still wants to eat lunch with people. I said it lightly a couple times. "Hey, can we not do the bad luck thing?" And yeah, they nodded, but then the next tiny inconvenience showed up and someone reached for the easiest laugh in the room. Me. I swallow stuff because that's what I learned at home, how to be the smooth surface that doesn't show the scratch. But swallowing isn't the same as forgiving. It's more like storing. It piles up. I store comments in my jaw and I grind them at night. The keychain thing. This is going to sound dumb to anyone who doesn't keep sentimental crap on them, but it mattered. My uncle gave it to me before he left for work overseas. He doesn't buy sentimental things either. He buys practical things like batteries and flashlights. So the keychain was weird for him. A small plastic astronaut with a tiny light where the helmet is, so when you squeeze it, it shines. He said, "To find your door when it's dark," and he hugged me once, awkward, like he was still learning how. He's fine. Nothing tragic happened. No car crash. But he's far and I miss the way he scolds me for not wearing a jacket. The keychain is stupid and cheap, and it's him. We were in the courtyard, me, person A, and person C. The bench was one of those splintery wooden ones where your thighs stick if you're wearing shorts. We were killing time between lectures, tossing my keys back and forth because person A was quoting some TikTok sound and needed a prop. I don't even remember what. Something about women's pockets are fake. It was all giggles until person C did an over-the-top football throw and the keys smacked the pavement, the astronaut cracked, and the little light popped out and rolled, and they screamed touchdown like a maniac and took off running because that's what she does when she knows she messed up. Person C bolted too, laughing and looking back to see if I was chasing them. I just stood there for a second with my mouth open like an idiot, because who sprint away when they break someone's thing? Children scurry, adults apologize. I picked up the little plastic head and tried to push the light back in, and it didn't fit and it squeaked and my hand was shaking. I wanted to cry like a child, which felt embarrassing over a keychain, which made me angry at myself for feeling anything at all, which made me angrier at them for making me feel stupid for feeling. They didn't come back. The bell rang, and they just texted, "We're heading to class," with a running emoji like the emoji could say sorry for them. Later, when I cornered person C by the vending machines and said, "Hey, that keychain you broke, can you just acknowledge it?" She blinked like she legitimately didn't know what I was saying. "What keychain?" Then she tilted her head like I was speaking a foreign language. "I don't remember." Was it me? That kind of voice. I walked away because if I stayed, I was going to say something I couldn't unsay. That played like a loop in my head for days. Not the breaking, even the running. There's also person I, who is one of those people who thinks she's allowed to roast anyone because she roasts herself harder. She did a bit in class one day, like during the lull, when the professor went to find a cable, where she read my text in the group chat out loud in a mocking voice. It was a nothing text. "Does anyone have the link?" She stretched it. "Does anyone have the link?" And the class chuckled, and I smiled because I hate being told I can't take a joke. But person A leaned across me and said, "No. Actually, don't make fun of that." I said it to her privately first, like she owned the rights to the bit. "Gatekeeping a joke about me." I whispered, "I don't like this." And person A eyes me and goes, deadpan, "So what?" My stomach fell through my shoes. That "so what" has an echo. It hits the part of your brain where you store stuff you thought you already told people. At some point, I started to talk to people on the edges. Not a grand betrayal, not printing flyers. I vented to one, sometimes two, okay, maybe three of the group on different days about the stuff that was building up. I used disclaimers like they were life vests. I love them. I know I'm sensitive. It's probably just me. Maybe I'm overreacting, but I still said the thing. They hurt me. I needed to hear another voice say I wasn't crazy, or hear them say, "Yeah, you're being dramatic," so I could correct course. We're 10 in this circle, including me. Odds are someone else noticed something. Odds are someone would say you should tell them, which I already had, weekly, but then felt stupid for needing to tell them again. There's a word for telling people at the margins, talking behind someone's back. I know. I also know when someone keeps stepping on your foot, you either move your foot or you say, "Hey." I tried hey. It didn't take. So I moved my foot into a quieter room and asked 3 separate people if I was bleeding. The project thing was the match to the pile. The professor assigned groups of 3. We were 4 because our class split weird and me, person C, personnel, and person I land in the same time slot. Only groups of 3, he said, and people started swapping around. I turned to them, said, "Okay, so, what we're gonna do?" It hung there. You know when 4 people stand in a little circle and 3 of them angle their bodies slightly toward each other, and one of them ends up staring at the side of a backpack? That was me. Person C glanced at L, then at I, then at me like she miscounted. I handed them my paper, the sheet where we had to write our names in a group so the professor could approve it, and C held it for a second like it burned and then handed it back without words, eyes darting like she was trying not to lock on mine, like if she didn't make eye contact, then this wasn't happening. They didn't say, "We want to be a 3 without you." They did nothing. They did a lot of nothing. Silence is still in action. My face got hot. I waited for one of them to crack a joke and include me. Nothing. People around us started moving toward the front to submit names, and in the noise I heard myself say a weird, too loud, "Okay," like I just noticed I'd been left at a bus stop while everyone else climbed in. After class, they packed their bags and left in a line. They didn't look back at me, and I swear I'm not dramatizing that. They walked off like someone pressed play, and I was paused in the background with my paper in my hand. I think that was the moment I snapped. Not a fun TV snap, not flipping desks, but my mouth went hard and my voice came out mean when I caught up to them in the hallway. I don't even remember the exact words in order. I just remember the heat of them. "Are you serious right now?" I said, "You could just say it. If you don't want me in your group, just say the words like adults. Don't hand my paper back like it's contaminated." Person C finally looked at me. "We didn't say that." "You didn't say anything," I shot back. "Which is worse?" Person I tried to shrug it off. "You're overthinking. We were just figuring it out." "You figured it out without me," I said. "Like you always do when it's convenient." That's when it went petty. People turned. Person L tried to be neutral, like always. Let's not do this here. Where then? I said, when you're done silently arranging my absence. I said other stuff, some of it cheap. They said stuff back. I heard the word victim from somewhere, and I saw red. I said, oh, now I'm the problem because I call you on your crap? Someone told me to lower my voice. I didn't. I said, you break my things and run, you call me cursed, and then act surprised when I don't laugh. You gatekeep jokes about me. You freeze me out of a group, and I'm dramatic? We said mean things that didn't heal anything. We walked away cracked and not speaking. I went to the bathroom and sat in a stall and shook like my bones were trying to break out. I cried. Then I hated myself for crying. Then I splashed cold water on my face and sucked in air and told myself, don't you dare spiral here. But spiraling doesn't care about dare. I skipped my next class and walked the long way around campus because I couldn't stand running into anyone. A delivery truck driver whistled some idiot tune while backing up, and it made me want to throw something at him for being so okay in a day that was not. That night, I wrote an apology. Not the I'm the worst kind, but the I know I went too far kind. I said, I'm sorry for blowing up. I felt excluded and it hit a nerve. That's on me for how I reacted. I want to fix it. I explained a little of my trauma, not for pity. I wrote that exactly. I'm not telling you this for pity. I said that certain kinds of silence and certain kinds of jokes punch straight through my armor because of stuff I've been through at home. I didn't give them details they didn't earn. I told them I'm working on it, that I don't like who I was in the hallway. I sent it in the smaller group chat with CLI. No one replied that night. No one replied the next morning. I saw the little opened under the message. I walked up to person C outside lecture the following day and tried to start a face-to-face, and she looked at her watch and said, I'm late, which is wild because the clock was literally behind her. She wasn't late. She was done. A few days later, I hear from person J. Not one of the four, but still in our circle. That person A is mad too. Person A, who was not there for the group thing. I guess person C told her I talked behind her back because I had vented to J and M about the keychain and the so what and the gatekeeping joke, and those words walked their way uphill. That's on me. I chose to say them, even if I felt like I was drowning when I did. Person A does the silent treatment like it's a religion. Walks by, eyes on phone, laughs big at things that aren't funny if I'm within 3 meters. I told myself, give her space. I'm not going to chase someone who is performing frostbite. Then the anonymous tweet popped up. We all follow the same stupid campus confessions account, and then someone launched an alt where people post rant threads with no names attached. But the voice is so distinctive you might as well sign it. And the emojis. Person A uses the same 3 sparkles after she says the meanest things, so it reads like rotten hell sparkles, sparkles, sparkles. Anyway, the tweet says something like, there's this girl in my circle who loves playing victim, two-faced and always seeking pity and attention. Tells everyone her trauma as an excuse to be rude. Grow up. No names. But then it mentioned the exact number of people in our group and the group project drama, and the word keychain in quotes like it was a punchline. It wasn't subtle. My phone felt hot in my hand. I saw it, and then I saw in the likes. Person C, person I. Person L didn't like it, which is somehow worse because then I can tell myself he's neutral in a way that knots my stomach. Other people in our friend circle didn't like or comment either. The quiet turned thick. Everything after that has been this weird limbo. They didn't kick me out of the chat. The streaks kept going. It's strange getting photos of someone's breakfast after they called you attention-seeking anonymously. It's like being tethered to a house that burned down. I send a black screen snapback sometimes so the number doesn't die. I'm part of the group in the way a spare tire is part of a car. There, but nobody wants to need it. Am I being wronged? Is it wrong to feel wronged? I keep asking that like it's a math problem and some professor is going to write the answer on the board. I replay everything with forensic attention. Was the keychain an accident? Yeah. Did they run? Yes. Did they apologize? Not in any way that counts. Did I vent? Yes. Did I add flavor? Probably. Did I harp on a bad luck thing too much? Maybe. Did I blow up? Yeah. Did I want to fix it? I tried. Did I overshare about my trauma? I didn't give them gore. I gave them context. The way you tell someone, hey, don't poke me there, I have a bruise. Is a bruise attention-seeking? Only if you enjoy pressing it, I guess. When I think about victim complex, I picture someone who can't imagine they might be the problem. I can imagine it just fine. I could see the parts where I wasn't soft or kind. I apologize for those parts. What kills me is the way apology hangs in air like a balloon that nobody grabs. You put a string out and wait for someone to tug and say, me too, and when they don't, the balloon goes limp. It's easier to be angry than to sit in that limpness. I know they're not cartoon villains. They're kids, like me, trying to look cool and not be the one who breaks the vibe. I keep trying to make them complicated in my head so I don't turn them into monsters. Person A's mouth runs faster than her brain, and she thinks doubling down is a personality. Person C wants to be in the middle of whatever is happening and goes wherever the loudest wave pushes her. Person I thinks meanness is wit and doesn't know there's a difference between stage and life. Person L floats because floating lets you keep everyone. If I pull back far enough, we're all just animals trying to avoid being the one left out in the rain. There's this one guy in our group, call him T, who keeps checking on me in tiny ways. He doesn't send paragraphs, he sends "you good?" at 1 a.m. and it lands. He told me he wants to help, but the timing is weird because finals are breathing down everyone's neck and he doesn't want to set off another hallway fight. I get it. He's not Switzerland. He's tired. He said once, they're not evil, they're just dumb sometimes, and it made me laugh, the first real laugh in weeks. He said, say what you need to say to them one more time, calmly, and if they don't bite, stop bleeding. I wrote that down. Stop bleeding. Like I have a valve. What I keep circling back to is this scene from my head that's never actually happened. Me sitting them down with no phones and no exit and saying, here's how this lands, and them listening all the way to the end. Them saying, we thought we were teasing, we didn't know we were carving. We're sorry. Then me saying, I'm sorry for swinging when I should have spoken. I'm sorry I told other people before I told you loud enough. Then all of us agreeing to try again with fewer knives on the table. That's the movie version. Reality is person A posting a story about fake people set to a Lana Del Rey song while I stare at my flashing cursor. My brain keeps doing small, mean calculations. Like, if I were really as awful as they say, would they keep me on the streak like a pet rock? If they really wanted me gone, wouldn't it be cleaner to just say it? Or are they keeping me in a glass case to make themselves feel like kind people? I hate that I even think like that. I hate that conflict turns me into a conspiracy theorist. I went back and scrolled through the chat to see if I was unhinged. Screenshot by screenshot, I look for proof that I'm this manipulative crying thing. My texts are the most boring texts on earth. Anyone in the library? What page is the assignment? I can pick up coffee if you want. When I finally said, can you stop with the bad luck jokes? There are 3 thumbs up emojis and then 2 days later, bad luck strikes again from person A with 6 skulls. It reads like a sitcom where I'm the audience insert. And the day after the keychain, there's a meme about astronauts exploding. Maybe coincidence, maybe not. I remember my thumbs hovering over the keyboard wanting to type, just to grease the room, and I didn't, and it felt like murder not to. My mom asked me last week on the phone, how are your friends? And I said, fine, because I don't want to explain the currency of streaks to a woman who thinks group chats are those things ladies from church do in person. She'd just say, find new friends, like that's a thing you can pick up at the bookstore. I'm working on it. I've started sitting with people from my lab class, talking about nothing and everything, laughing in a way that isn't laced with fear. It feels like stretching after a long bus ride. I'm not trying to build a new circle just to prove I can, but I'm also not going to keep my world small because I'm waiting on a verdict from people who run when they crack plastic. A part of me still loves them. I hate that word, love, in this context, but it's true. I love the night we got drenched and ended up eating ramen in the laundry room with steam everywhere and person C wearing the dryer sheet like a bib. I love the spontaneous 2 a.m. karaoke where person A did a full performance to Britney and made the security guard clap. I love that time, person. I made us a Google Doc color-coded, so we wouldn't miss deadlines. Irony not lost on me. That's the problem with groups. You don't get to keep just the good nights. You don't get to buy people in parts. I tried one more olive branch. I wrote a shorter message, no trauma this time. I said, I'm still open to talking. I don't need an apology manifesto. I just want to not be the punchline and to be told things straight. Person L reacted with a heart. Person C saw it. Person I sent, okay. Person I didn't open it for 2 days and then liked a meme right under it. That little choreography told me everything. I can't do all the work. I can't keep throwing a rope across a gap and then jump over to their side to pull it for them too. What stings is the way the anonymous tweet turned me into a caricature. Victim complex, two-faced, attention. The tweet didn't mention the part where I said sorry first. It didn't mention the part where I asked them to stop and they did it anyway. It didn't mention their own venting about me, and they do. I hear it third hand, where the times person A cried about her ex to me at 3 a.m. and I sat on the floor with her and held her hair when she puked from anxiety. None of us are one thing. But the internet loves one-word diagnoses because they fit in a caption. So am I wrong if I feel wronged? No. I think my feelings are a valid smoke alarm. But a smoke alarm doesn't mean you burn the house down. It means you step out, you stop inhaling, you call it what it is. Maybe the worst thing I did was believe that because they were there for me since day one, they'd keep being there no matter how I asked them to show up. People don't automatically get better at you. They get better when they want to. And if they don't want to, you stop standing in their hallway begging for softer shoes. I want a reconciliation. I still do. In that way, you want the version of the group that exists in your highlight reel. The raccoons, the ramen, the running joke that doesn't cut. But wanting that doesn't make it possible. I can want it and still decide I won't sit in rooms where my name is the easiest laugh. I can be sensitive and still be right that being called bad luck every day is dehumanizing. I can have trauma and still be responsible for not using it as a club. I can apologize and not be obligated to wait forever for an answer. They haven't kicked me out of the group. The streaks keep going. It's like a heartbeat you can hear, but no one wants to claim. Limbo is its own torture. People say clarity hurts. They forget that the blur does too. It just does it slower. Every morning I wake up and there's a number next to a flame and my thumb moves on reflex, and I hate how my body knows how to keep a connection I'm not sure I should keep. But I also know if I let it die, it dies, and I can't unknow that. The other night, I saw person A across the street at the boba place. She saw me too. There was a half second where it could have gone either way. Wave, look away. She looked away. I ordered my drink, sat by the window, watched the rain start again. My brain wanted to make it meaningful, like the weather was picking sides, like the clouds saw me and said, there's our girl, cue the downpour. I sipped and decided, quietly, that the rain falls for everybody. It's not about me. Not everything is about me. That thought felt like a step toward being a person I can stand. I'm not going to send another apology. I'm not going to lob another essay into a chat where messages die unacknowledged. If they want to talk, they know where I sit on Tuesdays between classes. They can say, hey, can we reset? And I will say, yes, with rules. Rule 1, no jokes about my bad luck. Not because I can't take a joke, but because I'm not your toy. Rule 2, if you break something of mine, you stop and you say sorry like a grown-up. Rule 3, if something I do pisses you off, tell me to my face before you tell a timeline. That's all. I'm not asking for more than I'm offering. Maybe that makes me a bad friend to them, because I'm not fun anymore because I'm the one who turned the music down to say my foot hurts. Maybe to them that reads like victim complex. Fine, they can have that story. I don't need to fight it on a public forum. I don't need to beg. I can hold the good memories without letting them chain me to more of the same. I keep thinking about the astronaut keychain. I try to glue it. The crack shows, the light still works, but flickers. If you press too hard, it goes out. It's smaller now, not as bright, but it still helps me find the lock at night. It's a stupid metaphor, and it's also perfect. Things can break and still be useful. They can never be unbroken and still be worth holding. I can be mad about how it broke and still carry it. Both things live in my pocket. If you've read this far, I don't have a moral to sell you. I'm not going to pretend I've figured out whether I should drop them or keep hovering at the edge for a while to see if the wind changes. Today I'm trying a middle thing. I'm walking slower toward people who make me feel safe and faster away from people who don't. I'm letting the streaks burn themselves out organically instead of feeding them like a campfire I didn't want to sit around in the first place. I'm letting my phone face down when I study, and the quiet is loud, but it's honest. I keep asking, do I really have victim complex? Maybe I have a tired of being the butt of the joke complex. Maybe I have a please just tell me the thing instead of making me guess complex. If that's a complex, I'll wear it. Have I been a horrible friend all this time? I've been a messy one. I've been a friend who laughs along and then goes home and stares at the ceiling and curses myself for not being braver. I've also been the friend who shows up with notes when someone misses class. The friend who remembers birthdays. The friend who sits on cold stairs with you because your dorm is too loud. Those count too. They don't erase my blow-ups, but my blow-ups don't erase them. I wish I could say I don't adore them anymore, because adoring people who mock you is a ridiculous look. But I do. I adore the versions of them that were kind to me. I hope those versions win. I hope mine does too. And if they keep avoiding me, if the only thing that connects us is a number next to a flame and the occasional meme, then maybe that's my sign. Maybe I let it go. Maybe I keep the few who meet me where I am. Maybe L if he ever grows a spine, and I rebuild without making a big post about it. They don't have to kick me out. I can walk, or I can stand quietly at the door and let the room decide. Both are choices. For now, I'm choosing to breathe, to finish my assignments, to drink water, to text my uncle a photo of the dumb little astronaut with its cracks showing and say, still using it. He'll reply with a thumbs up and proud of you, because he's like that. That'll be enough for the day. And if tomorrow someone says, bad luck strikes again, I'm going to say, no, that's not my name. And then I'm going to look at who laughs and who nods. That'll tell me more than any anonymous tweet ever will. If they think that's dramatic, fine. If they think it's attention-seeking, fine. I'm not seeking attention. I'm seeking respect. There's a difference. You can hear it if you stop shouting long enough. I don't know if I should just drop them too. I don't know if I'm overreacting or if my feelings are valid. Maybe both can be true in waves. What I do know is I'm done pretending the knife is a feather because it came from friend hand. I can love them and still say, don't cut me. I can be sensitive and still take a joke, as long as it isn't the same one that calls me cursed every time the Wi-Fi hiccups. I can try to fix things and accept that some people don't want things fixed, they want them easy. I can be a better friend by being honest, even if that honesty empties a room. So that's where I am, in the messy middle, holding my cracked astronaut, walking to class under rain that belongs to everyone, waiting to see who'll share an umbrella without making it a punchline. If nobody does, I'll still make it to the door. I know where it is. The light's small, but it's enough.